The Warriors are leading the NBA in this offseason trend. What is it? You're going to find out on this episode of Warriors Digest. Randy Silver here, breaking down all the biggest Warriors news for you. Offseason, trades, rumors, signings, summer league, regular season, all of it. ESPN just released a survey. It compiled coaches, scouts, and executives talking about the offseason. Top performing teams, worst offseason teams, biggest trades, surprises, everything in between. And there's one trend they voted on that the Warriors are leading. And what is that? After years of spending big on trying to put out the best and most competitive roster, Golden State Warriors have been a clear leader in pulling back thanks to the new CBA rules. So, the offseason trend is having to spend less money because of our new aprons in the CBA. Warriors fans, if you're on this channel a lot, you know we've talked about this plenty of times. The Warriors have had to go from spending big money to getting below the first apron to not have serious repercussions. Other teams are doing the same. And these aprons are called the Warriors rule. So in the ESPN offseason survey published on Monday, teams navigating the new luxury tax apron was ranked as the biggest offseason trend in a poll of 18 coaches, scouts, and executives across the league. In fact, the trend received 2/3 of the total votes, with a Western Conference executive telling ESPN the league has gone away from free spending. They can't. The penalties of being in the luxury tax issues are punitive, and they get worse and worse every season. You can lose your draft pick positions. You lose the ability to make trades, what you can bring back in trade, being able to even do a trade. You lose the ability to sign free agents. You go into cap hell. So it's a negative for teams to do that. It's trying to make more parity across the league so you don't have a team like the Warriors who spend a bunch more and they see the results. So let me make this bigger. 12 votes, new luxury tax apron. 3 votes, teams being stuck, general inactivity. 2 votes for loading up with wing depth. And then chasing a third submax player was 1. So the inactivity, teams really need to make a bunch of moves. Either A, because they're trying to tank, maybe get Cooper Flag, or they're trying to see how this CBA plays out and to stay with what they got. Owner's not trying to win. Team governor's not trying to win. Wing depth, we're seeing that's where the NBA is going. Do you have a bunch of players who can play potentially 2 through 4, 3 and 4 together? KCP going to the Magic, wing depth for them. Boston, they have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, being able to win a championship with that, and then the players behind them. Warriors, we got wing depth like crazy. You got Kuminga, Moody. Let me bring up the roster. You added Waters. You added Kyle Anderson. You added Hield. Melton's more of a point guard. You got early Wiggins as well. Plenty of wing depth there. Submax star chasing a third star? Not really, because again, teams can't financially spend big. Can't give out 3 max contracts. This question has been the biggest consensus, with the overwhelming opinion being that the story of the summer has been the impact of the new apron rules. People are realizing how this is all working, a West executive said. The league has gone away from free spending. Several people also pointed to general lack of activity this summer, which was attributed to both new rules and lack of cap space available. A couple cited most of the biggest moves. George going to the Sixers, Caldwell Pope, as I said, KCP, Orlando. Bridges going from Brooklyn to Knicks. Caruso going from Bulls to OKC. All landed in similar category. Teams looking to bolster their perimeter play at both ends of the court. There's been a shift towards playing smaller, more shooting, more offense, an Eastern Conference coach said. Which I don't know if I agree with. I think people are trying to get taller and lengthier with them 1B, Holmgren, things like that. So again, the new apron undoubtedly put a place of the Warriors, Clippers in hindrance. It's important to note that the Warriors were willing to continue to spend big if their pursuit of Paul George prior to free agency happened, and it did not, of course. However, given the Clippers' own aims to reduce their spending, they were unwilling to take back the salary required to complete a trade between the two parties, leaving George to opt out, being an unrestricted free agent and signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Over the past 7 seasons, the Warriors have led the NBA in total payroll 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And have also been second 3 times. So 6 of the past 7 seasons, they've had the highest or second highest payroll. That's a lot of money you're paying the players, and also a lot of money in luxury tax and overall taxes Joe Lacob and the ownership are paying. The only time they haven't been in the top 2 was 1920. Clay was hurt, and Steph got hurt. Season didn't matter, so we just kind of gave up on the season. But hey, we came back and won the 4th title a couple years later. So let's show you, before we dive into it, how much were they actually spending. So let me share my screen. So remember, folks, 6 of the last 7 seasons. So starting with this past season, highest payroll of $209 million for a team that just made the play-in, didn't make the playoffs. That's why we're like, nope, if we're not going to be in the playoffs, we're going down. Look here, Clippers didn't go far in the playoffs. Phoenix didn't go far in the playoffs. Milwaukee did not. Boston won. So Miami went decent. Denver went decent. Lakers didn't really go too far. Dallas went to the finals. So just because you're spending money doesn't mean you're going to have success on the court. You take it back to the year before. So we're 23-24, 22-23. Warriors second. Clippers first. So they were both 1-2. And we know how both of them did. 21-22, when we won the championship, we were first. Again, this was our 4th championship. Brooklyn second. We know how that ended. Not good. Clippers, Lakers, Milwaukee, Utah. You look at 2019, 2020. Oops, sorry. 2020, 2021. Nope, we just did that. 2019, 2020. Again, because we weren't competing here really, fell down to 129. 129. But still 7th in the league. 2017, 2018, just to kind of go back, this is when we had KD. Oops. Golden State's second with 137, right behind Cleveland. So look at this. 2017, 2018, 137. If we go back to when the dynasty really started, let's just call it 2015, 2016, right around we got that first title. Sorry, y'all. Let me stop this ad block. Golden State 4th at 93 million. 93 million, basically 8-9 years ago. And taking it to this past season, 209 million. That's basically 220% over the course of a decade. Folks, we're going to see teams spending $400, $500 million by the end of, say, 2030, maybe 2035, something like that in this new meteorite. So you're seeing what I'm getting over the point. We were spending a lot of money to not win, a lot of money to win. And we haven't been on that winning upward trajectory the past couple seasons, so they've brought that down. So again, 4 straight years of being in the top 2, we've had to adjust. What did we do this offseason? Clay, bye. Did not re-sign him. Offered last year, 2 years, $48 million. He did not take it. We never gave him an offer as we reported. Chris Paul, $30 million. We did not pick up his option. We cut him. We brought in Looney. We kept his option. Could have cut him and saved $3 million. GP2 exercised his option. But we didn't go get out that big money free agent. We talked maybe about spending by getting Paul George and trading some of the younger players. Did not happen. So we pivoted. We got 3 players around the mid-level exception to help fill out this roster. So what's the roster look like? Again, if you go right here, $177 million is our cap. Tax threshold is 178. So we're right there. We're hard cap at that first level. All teams have to be, let me make this bigger. All teams have to spend the salary cap minimum, $140 million. So Utah right now are about 25, 30 million below it, in that range. They have to extend marketing or they have to go sign players to make that happen. We're at that first tax apron at 178. You see where it's all broken out. We cannot go sign any more players, so we still haven't signed Quinton Post yet, our second round draft pick. So how effective are these people saying the new CBA is? 5 out of 5, 4 votes. 4 out of 5, 6 votes. 3 out of 5, 3 votes. 2 out of 5, 4 votes. 1 out of 5, 1. So overall, pretty effective. And we just talked about it. You're seeing teams limit their spending, not being able to chase a third star, and not going out maybe signing the mid-level player as well to see how everything plays out and trying to keep their money for chasing a star. The league's goal here is working, said an East Coast scout, who added that they were helping small market teams stay relevant and competitive. Or, as a Western Conference coach said, this is as close to the NFL as it's ever been. You have to make good decisions as a front office. If you don't, you're going to lose. You won't be winning. The Warriors, they didn't want to be stuck. That's why they decided to go with Melton, Anderson, Hield, mid-tier contracts versus trying to go for a third star, second star, depending how you look at Wiggins, Draymond. And you're in purgatory. So now it comes down to Moody, Kuminga. We can sign them for their extensions this year. If we don't this offseason, next offseason, they become restricted free agents. So what will we do? That's the biggest question. And if it comes down to the trends, you think you're going to keep your homegrown stars. That's what we're seeing versus having to go find somebody else out in the open market. If you want to see this poll in full, I'm going to do a second video breaking down who they voted as the top team, the worst team, biggest surprises, everything. So go ahead and subscribe so you'll know when that'll come out. And let me know your thoughts here. Put them in the comments. Bye, y'all.